Today we're going to be talking about the importance of your RAM DIMM's clock speed. But first, my name is Steve Smith, this is TQA Weekly, and before I get into anything else, if you wanted Season 6 of TQA Weekly, you can still download it from the TQA Weekly website, but you have one more week to do it, and then I delete it all from the server. Now, today's topic is about a RAM's clock speed. The show notes has benchmark information that you might be interested in seeing for yourself. You can get that at tqaweekly.com/SE8EP01, and you're going to be looking up Tech Buyer Guru's benchmark for 2133, 2666, and 3200 megahertz bars of 8 and 16 gig DIMMs of DDR4. That I'll get into in a minute. So first, the current standard of DDR4 RAM DIMMs is they have a normal clock speed of between 800 and 2133 megahertz. That is the clock speeds that they operate in, making any DDR4 bar of RAM that operates at a higher speed than that overclocked 2133 megahertz DIMMs of DDR4, which means that in your BIOS, you have to use an XMP profile in order to take advantage of any speed increase beyond 2133 megahertz. That is how it works at the current moment. Now the question is, how important is the RAM's clock speed? Well, in truth, very little. And according to Tech Buyers Guru's benchmark, there is so little difference between each of the speeds that they tested, which is 2133 megahertz, 2666 megahertz, and 3200 megahertz, regardless of whether it was 8 or 16 gig DIMMs. There's so little difference that it would be unperceivable to anybody. You wouldn't notice this unless you are really sensitive to that kind of stuff, and very few people could actually feel a difference between that. So why is it that we think that it does anything? And that probably has to do with DDR3 and other bars of RAM before, where there was probably more of a difference. But you know what actually makes a difference in your experience in your computer? The entire ecosystem being balanced. The more inferior the parts that you put into it, whether it's the CPU, the RAM, the hard drives, the graphics cards, or anything else, the more you will perceive latency in the computer, and that is where you'll actually see a difference between various items in your computer. Because keep in mind, a weak CPU will end up having bottlenecking issues. A weak graphics card won't give you as much performance. Lower speed RAM, lower than 2133, will give you a perceivable difference between, and that is just the stuff that you can see and you can buy. So, is faster than 2133 absolutely necessary? No. But going below that is probably not a good idea, and using cheap parts instead of good parts just to save a few bucks in order to buy better RAM won't help you anyway. I hope you liked this episode, but if you didn't, dislike this episode, share with those that you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com. And if you want to make this show better, go to patreon.com/tqaweekly and become a patron today. Patrons get these episodes 24 hours in advance of everyone else. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.